I was thinking about today just how much heaviness there has to be as these numbers of deaths due to COVID climb up and up and up. And we are at like 90,000 people who have passed at this point due to the coronavirus outbreak and the pandemic. And you really can, you really can feel the heaviness. If you are at all a sympathetic or an empathetic person or a caring person or a person who knows God, a spiritual person, then it's something that we can all feel, and we are carrying burdens for people who have lost loved ones, people who are in the hospital and sick currently, for families where parents are taking care of children because the other parent is sick or in the hospital. People are in hospitals alone and unable to have human connection or even face-to-face visual contact with family members for days and weeks, sometimes months at a time. And I know, we do our best to do what we can, whatever that means for us, whether we're giving donations, whether we're helping to make sure people get fed, whether we're sending in money, whether we're getting the word out, doing kind things for essential workers. There's so many ways we can try to help, but it really can start feeling like it's not enough, and when are we going to see a break? And you juxtapose that with the fact that lots of states are relaxing their restrictions and trying to open up businesses. And don't be fooled, that's what it's about. It's about opening up businesses. So a lot of states are doing that, and it's at our detriment. We are the ones who suffer for that. And I don't just mean Black people or people of color. I mean people in general, because as you look at these states that have opened up and look at their numbers starting to climb and climb, that affects all of us. And then, yes, in that we know that African Americans are disproportionately dying. So more people are contracting it, and more of us become seriously ill and die. So I just wanted to give us a space to breathe, and just to tell you, I'm praying. I am on the wall praying for everybody. And I believe in the power of prayer. And I know that sometimes that can seem like, whoa, how is that even enough? Because why are we in this in the first place? And it can cause any of us to have a crisis of faith, to have low moments, to have moments where we are either full of anxiety or just depressed. And it's Mental Health Month. And I know that there are probably people who weren't feeling anxious or depressed before entering into this who are feeling that anxiety now. So, I just am a strong believer that if you have breath, that it's for a reason, and that as long as you have a breath, you have a shot. So I don't believe in wasting breaths. We talk about, and I used to have a radio show called Breathe Through It, and one of the things I would always say, I had really an entire speech I gave one time called Don't Waste Your Breath. And it wasn't about the colloquial way we say it, where, you're talking about something that doesn't make any sense. What I'm saying literally is, our finite resource is time. We have a limited amount of breaths on this earth that we're going to take. We don't know what that number is. And because we don't know what that number is, we can't afford to waste any of them. Does that mean you don't spend time laughing? You don't spend time with friends? You don't spend time having fun? You don't spend time on things that are just purely pleasurable for you? No. But it does mean we don't have a lot of time to waste arguing. And we don't have time to waste not showing self-love and not expressing love to those who are around us. We don't have a lot of time to spend any of it without gratitude for these days and these opportunities that we have to affect purpose in the earth. We don't have enough time to delay walking out our purpose in the earth, whatever it is that God put us here for. I mean, now. Now is the time and the moment. Nothing is promised. We don't know the day or the hour. Does that mean I think that I'm going to check out of here tomorrow? No. By faith, I'm believing God for a good long life. But I want to use every bit of it. I mean, I really want to max out. And I can look back at so many times where, just round and round the same mountains and having the same arguments and procrastinating. Truly, but the procrastination demon and me, we go way back. Like, we've been friends a long time. I'm steady trying to break up with procrastination. And procrastination actually is rooted in fear. And sometimes people have fear of failing. Sometimes people have fear of succeeding. It's really a notion of figuring out how much you can put your arms around at one time. And so for me, not functioning in that means sometimes I get up forcing myself. I'm a person who's excited to get up. Well, when I actually go to sleep, I'm excited to get up. I like the start of another day, another chance, another opportunity, time to get things right with God, with my neighbor, with myself, to show love, to be better at all the things that I'm responsible for. It's new mercies every morning. It's new mercies every morning. I need them. I don't know about y'all, but I need them. And so I embrace that. And Monday is a good day for me. I love the start of the week. So that's why I said I would come on here and talk to you about it. What are we going to do with this week that we did different than last week? And I know we're all in different circumstances. I'm staying my black behind in my house. I surely am. Yes. Unless I have to go out. No, it's all going down right here because I take this disease seriously. I take the ineptness of the administration seriously. So until they are like clocking with some tests where I can just drive up somewhere and get one, and everybody, you and you and you and you and you can, and those numbers start going down and down and down and down and down, nah. So I'm waiting for the leaders who have had to supplant our president to give the cues about that. But I know that everybody does not have the ability to do that. We've got people who have to go to work, and now who are not even just essential workers anymore, but people who are basically forced to go back to work or they're going to lose their jobs. So as we start this week, I am praying that God gives you some joy in it, that you look at it as an opportunity. And while we are still in this quarantine and still have the opportunity to strategize and figure out, like, why are we really in this? Not just there's a global pandemic and there's a whole bunch of people sick and the economy is tanking, but what is it that you can learn out of it? How can you grow in it? On the other side, or as we start to emerge from it, what will be different? Will you have gotten that business off of the ground, or at least worked out a strategy for doing it? Will you have had the time to make some peace with parts of your life that were bothering you and maybe make some better decisions? Will you have worked out disagreements with family members because life is too short for that foolishness? said apologies where you needed to say apologies, and forgiven where you needed to forgive, and not for the other person and whether they said sorry or not, but just so you can have some peace within yourself. How have you used this time? Are you using it to recoup losses, rebound financially? What are all the different ways that you can take advantage of these moments? And this week, I'm hoping I'm going to bring you some information. You know, I'm always trying to bring stuff that helps. But this week, I'm doing like 3 interviews and a webinar. So watch this space. Watch in my YouTube channel. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. Okay. One of them I've already posted. I am doing, and I told you guys, whoever is on here in the Insomniac Hour with me, you know, I'm hosting a webinar with financial expert Deborah Owens. That's on Tuesday. I really hope that you take advantage of this opportunity, because Deborah was 20 years as a financial advisor. She was a vice president with Fidelity Investments. She now is a wealth coach and a financial advisor privately. She has her own Wealthy You Circle where people join, and she coaches and mentors people. And it's not, don't think of it as something that's just for people who are on the course to wealth because they've got their investment portfolio and there's a certain amount in savings and there, et cetera, and so on, or plotting to retirement. No, she aims to help first-time investors, and she starts with you're in debt and works you to your cash rich, you know, in flow. So, and she knows how to do those steps. And so we're going to talk about ways you can do that even now in a pandemic, how you can still grow wealth. We're talking about stimulus opportunities. We expect another round to be coming. It's at I am Deborah Owens is her. But if you look in my Instagram, you'll see that I've posted a graphic there, and there is a link for you to register for the webinar, which is going to be on Tuesday. But as I was saying, we're going to talk about COVID stimulus. We talk about what you're going to get out of hopefully the CARES Act, what you'll get from the HEROES Act once something like it passes. But there are so many opportunities, just now opportunities that you can be taking advantage of. And don't believe because you're self-employed and you don't have any employees that you can't get PPP, because you can. Don't believe that you have to have full-time employees and they can't be subcontractors, because that's not true. Don't believe that you won't qualify for funds if you haven't filed your last year's taxes. That's not true. There are all these different types of programs available, including a special provision of unemployment for people who are self-employed. And that's all the freebies that I'm going to give you. Get in the seminar if you want to know more about that. And we're going to talk about availability of other options if you are no longer employed because of COVID and have to look for new work. And we're going to be talking about, Deborah is going to be teaching you about 5 smart money strategies that you can employ right now. So, and she's going to have some freebies that she's giving away. It's the cost. Yes, there is a cost. It's $20 whole. So, I mean, you'll get $1,000 worth of information easy. So jump up and get that. I got limited space. I don't know even right now how many spaces I have left. So, but I'm not selling wool tickets. I know that it should be good. So I'm doing that, and then I'm gonna be starting a new series. That's the Be the Boss series. That's for entrepreneurs. I'm gonna be starting a new webinar series called Justice or Just Us, and I will be speaking to people who are involved in social justice and in the criminal justice system, who will be giving us information about what we can do as we're seeing increases again in shooting deaths and incidents of police misconduct. And so we're going to be talking those things through, and all of those things, those will be free offerings. This week also I'm going to be speaking to a psychologist from Johns Hopkins because it's Mental Health Month, and that will be available to you also. And someone is asking me to pin it, and I don't know how. I have to figure these things out, guys. So no, you gotta just, after we get off, go just to my page on Instagram, and it's just one, it's the very last post that I posted. It's me, picture me and Deborah Owens, and the link is in my bio. And so you can go get it that way. Thank you. Please do support and share the information, because, my goal during this period is to just cut out a lot of the static and a lot of the noise. I hear you. You guys are saying, I miss you on that. I want to see you on that. And you love those head-to-head battles. And no. What we're going to do for right now, because I'm going to be obedient, is I'm going to use my voice to make sure that I'm bringing you news you can use, information you're supposed to have, my advocacy from whatever point of position I believe is necessary for the express purpose of making sure that we are informed, we are active in the political process, we are helping our neighbor, and we are encouraging each other. And that's all I'm trying to do right now. So we'll see. Hopefully enough people will like it that we can keep on doing it. And yes, you would love to hear my insight on police misconduct. You know what? And I've been talking about that. So you got to go. I got hours worth because I'm not going to get into it tonight because I end up running long. But look through my feed and you'll see I did one whole thing, I think, about the Ahmaud Arbery case, Breonna Taylor, Pamela Turner, and just any number of other cases. So, well, thank you. I'm glad I was pleasant. So look back at those. I'm going to, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, go on there, because for longer interviews and things that are coming, hint, hint, they'll be posted there. So I'll always give you information here, but it'll be posted there. That's all. See, I wasn't long-winded tonight. I'm rooting for us. We are a resilient people. There's so much going on, but we've overcome a whole lot. So I stay believing that by faith, we will come through this too. Any questions? A link to YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, it's my channel, Monique Presley. You'll see it. And I stick my TV stuff there too. So whatever I don't post, well, someone does that for me, thankfully. For things that aren't maybe in the Instagram feed, it ends up over on YouTube. Yes, whoever that was off topic. Oh my God. Oh, Lord. Okay. That's all. Let's get it this week. Give it our absolute best. No more excuses. We are here on purpose. We have to be in purpose. Walk in it. And I posted something that was just a thought of mine, and I'll leave you with this, at least leave you with this for tonight, this morning, wherever we are. Oh, I thought one of my children was coming out. I gotta look. No. And I was just saying, I think it said like, hey, Queen, stop waiting for that coronation. Just reign. Just reign. And that applies to kings and queens. Stop waiting for somebody to put a crown on your head and hand you a scepter and tell you that this is your territory. That's not even what a coronation is. A coronation is the official ceremony where they celebrate who is already king or queen because it passes by succession. So whatever territory is yours, it's yours already. All you're supposed to be doing now is occupying. You are a king. You are a queen. You have a throne. You may be abdicating yours right now. So you need to sit on it and reign. And you need to manage your territory. And that's whatever that is. That's your family unit, your home, your business, your city, your state, this country, the world. I don't know where your reach is or where it's supposed to be. Only you know that. But what I know for sure is that you should not be a bit player in your own life. There is an X in the middle of the stage. It's for you. Take your place. Stop trying to audition to get bit roles in other people's lives when you have an entire life of your own to manage, to excel in. Just take a look, see where your time is going. Are you spending it on the things that will prosper you? Or are you taking on projects? Because every project is not a ministry moment. Sometimes you have to let people help themselves. And I've been on both sides of that. Both sides of it. I've been the person that somebody had to let help themselves, and I've been the person that had to let somebody help themselves. Because sometimes we cripple people with what we're calling love, and it's really just codependency. See, I have started going off. But no, occupy. No man can give you what God has already ordained for you. It shall come to pass and is already in the earth. So there's not a no from man that trumps God's yes. I don't care how many no's you get. You just need that one yes from God, and he's already given it. So as you walk it out, don't let the closed doors, the knockdowns, the struggles, the failures, don't let any of that signal to you what is not true. You're going to be victorious. And whatever you're going through now is necessary for you to get some lesson in it. Sometimes betrayal is necessary and abandonment is necessary. Because when you make it, you need to know it was God that brought you over. Not that one you thought you could count on that would never leave you, and not that one you thought you could trust with your secrets, and not that one that you thought was going to open the door and didn't. It's not man. God uses man in order to bless you. But man is not your blesser or your provider or anything else that you need in this life. And now I am preaching officially, and I'm going to have to take up an offering. So I'm going to stop and say, occupy. And that means do business. And I don't mean other people's business. Handle yours. You have something that the world needs. Give it. That special, whatever it is, that is uniquely you. And there's nobody for whom that isn't true. I don't care what your past story was, what your childhood was, what your current limitations are. There's none of that. That means that there's not something divinely unique and special about you that will be a blessing in the earth. So even as we are all alienated right now, isolated, look at it more like insulated so that you can get with yourself, you know, wherever you get in your faith walk, but so that you can get with yourself, right? And figure out who you are. If you don't know who you are, talk to God about it. Might need to know your name. And you know what? You ask a question, you'll get an answer. You will. But I am excited for your future on the other side of this situation that we are dealing with. I believe that it will be used to bring out things in us. Trust me, I'm a crisis manager. It's not really until you're in crisis that you realize what you're made of. I mean, how many ways you can be creative, how many ways you can figure out to make it do what it do. Necessity begets invention. Yes. So this is going to provoke things in you. Let it. And take advantage of this social media and all the other opportunities that you have in order to get your own particular message out. Let's start this week fresh. Okay? I've been on here long enough. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? I don't see any. It might be because my thing is delayed, but before you go, can we see more of your cooking? Oh, okay. I love to do it. Yep. Been kind of in a southern trend lately, but yes. You set your week. Don't let your week set you. You set your watch. Whatever's going on, all of this, that's not setting you. You set you. Command your day. Hold the brain in. Say, tap in and get on course. And don't allow for those conversations. All this chatter. It's like the way the white noise used to be. How many of you all are old enough to remember when the TV when programming would end? I'm for real telling my age that I can even remember this. And it would just be static. Psh. That's noise. That's chatter. And it's only meant to distract. It's only meant to take you off course. You can only have the same conversation turned argument, but a few times before you recognize it's unfruitful. So you either got to try a different tact or you got to clamp it down. Look at all the areas of your life where it's... And you have to kind of have some tunnel vision. For real. Tunnel vision. One of my cousins, who's like a sister to me, she probably sometimes is not even saying it as a compliment, but she's like, really, Monique, you are amazingly unfazed. And like, you know, from her perspective, it's like fires are going off everywhere. And I'm just like, do. What's for dinner? Is the music on? Because listen, I firmly believe that I'm getting where I'm going. And I want everybody to go with me. But everybody doesn't have to go. I'm going. So you have to have a made up mind in this thing. If you're not dead, get it. Okay. I love y'all. I'm thankful for our nighttime community. I'll be back. It's gonna be some earlier times this week because the interviews can't get people to be up with me at 1 o'clock in the morning. So be on the lookout for times. I know that the webinar Tuesday is 7 o'clock, and on Wednesday I am interviewing Midwin Charles. She's MSNBC person. You've probably seen her on other things. She's a really great attorney out of New York. We're just going to talk law, talk these cases, all the different areas where we could use her expertise and figure out what she thinks about the way our Attorney General is behaving himself. It should be an excellent conversation. Thought-provoking conversation. Okay. Oh, I'm sad you logged on late too, but I'm gonna figure it out this time. I've been trying to upload, but sometimes recently when I upload through Instagram, it's warping it. So if you don't see it the right way and you don't want my mouth to be moving and my voice, look on YouTube because I put the real video there. Always. This is my all-time favorite song. The only reason I'm not up and dancing and vibing out is because I'm talking to you all. But as, in my opinion, is the best song ever. Happy birthday, Stevie! Always. Okay. I'll be thinking of you all always. Have a good night. Bye.